Be a snapper, not a grouper. Come on, baby. Holy. That is not the snapper I was anticipating. That is a, I don't know if you can see that. That's a 7-pound snapper, but a mangrove snapper, which is legal. And he was in the rocks too. Good morning, everybody. My name's John. Welcome back to the channel. We took this week off, and this is one of my last vacation days. My wife's brother, Lucas, came down, and his wife Heather came down, spent the week with us for Christmas. We had a lot of good food, a couple of little boat trips, no fishing though. So today I had the opportunity to do a little solo fishing. Not sure how far we'll get. It's pretty low tide right now, so I gotta kind of pay attention. Yeah, we are right at the bottom of the low tide. It's about 7:09. The low tide was about 20 minutes ago. It was a negative low tide, so winter times in Florida, the tides get really low. So we gotta be a little careful leaving the marina on the creek. And then we're gonna poke out in the Gulf. We'll see what the waves look like. It was a little breezy this morning, but it seems to be dying down right now. There's a little bit of fog. So not sure what the bait situation is out there. Hopefully, you know, we can catch some bait. Get to about 30 foot. We'll throw the sabiki down, see what we can find. Like I said, I haven't been out a couple months, so not sure. All right, we're gonna get moseying on, and then got our sabiki pole here. Fresh sabiki on. I'm gonna tip it with some squid. See if it'll help them get them fired up. Come on, man. Big though. That's what we need. Some bait. Nice pinfish. Big old grunt. He's not ideal, but start. Use him for cut bait if we have to. Big old sand perch. Really don't need that ton of Tate. I will be kicking myself later. I don't have cut bait, but it's a little too big for what we're doing. So I came out to M5. See what kind of bait we can get here. Look at that. Perfect. Got some bread fins, some sardines. That's the bait we wanted. That's perfect snapper bait right there. That is definitely plenty for today. A bunch of scaled sardines, thread fins, some carb minnows, Tate grunts, a couple of sand perch we can use for cut bait if we need to. All right, stop number 2, 126 foot of water. Never marked this spot before, but just drove over it, and it was a pretty good spike. So we'll drop one down and see what happens. Oh yeah, that's a fish. Don't have the net either. Please don't be a grouper. Big old grouper. Wish that was a a red snapper, but probably 26-inch red grouper. Gotta go back. Here you go. Well, that was fun at least. There's a big fish here. So I free lined I think it was a thread fin off the back with that little 2-ounce knocker rig. Kind of got it away from the boat a little bit. And he walloped it. Wish it was a snapper. It's a workout on a spinner. It looks like snapper down there. Me, but I'm just a rookie. Oh, that was a snapper for sure. Holy crap. That was definitely a snapper bite. Well, it's been a struggle. We're now in 137 foot of water. Let's see what happens. This is our normal area where we fish for red snapper, grouper, mangrove snapper in the summertime, but it's December 27th, so fish do move around, but looks like there's something down there. Dropping a Tate down on that 2-ounce knocker rig. See if we can get something. Got it that time. Oh, he got me in a rock, I bet. Man! Either that or it was a shark. It's like a rock. Alright, just lost a big fish in the rocks. Could have been a snapper, could have been a grouper, could have been a shark. It broke off, but I mean, it fought like a snapper. It's kind of hard to tell. It's weird fishing this time of year. The bites feel a little bit different. So far, we're skunked. We're 40 miles offshore. And no dinner yet. As you can see, the waves aren't getting any better. 130. Give me a long ride back. Yeah, it's weird. I don't think it even made the bottom. I think he grabbed it and it was holding on it. And I was like, the weight feels weird. So he grabbed it off the bottom. The weight must have been just dangling there and he wasn't moving. This feels like snapper. If he stays on, definitely snapper. That'll be a huge one. If this is a snapper, we only need 2. We can head home. Be a snapper, not a grouper. Come on, baby. Holy. That is not the snapper I was anticipating. But I'll take it. Damn. That is a, I don't know if you can see that. That's a 7-pound snapper, but a mangrove snapper, which is legal. And he was in the rocks too. All right. Let's do a little bleedy bleed. 23-inch, 7-pound snapper. Got a little slurry going. Woo! Let's get another one. So, we're gonna drop this back down again. Got a pretty long leader on here. I don't usually have that long of a leader, but it's probably, I don't know, about 5 foot. Using a Shimano Talus and Shimano Dakota 700. Probably got, I think, 50-pound braid on here with a top shot of, I think, 50-pound mono. And then 40-pound leader and probably a 3-ounce weight. Took a little bit to get to the bottom, but I think that long leader probably made a difference, because that fish is pretty old. It's probably seen a bunch of lures and baits and stuff go down, and for him to get that big out here, this is pretty heavily fished. May have helped. Let's see if we can get another one. At least we got dinner. I'd like to get some American red snapper, but usually they're in together. I don't know if that's my personal best mangrove snapper, but that's a big one. That's a squid. Dead squid with a live sardine in the middle of it. Since we're coming off of Thanksgiving, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a turducken. Let me know if you've ever heard of a ducken, but we call this bait the turducken also, or the squid ducken. Oh no, we got off. I got nailed as soon as it hit the bottom. Damn. Didn't even make it to the bottom now, I think. Alright, back to a knocker rig. Piece of squid on there, they seem to like that. This one may get to the bottom a little easier. It's a Crowder 6 series. I had a custom rod with this Talica. It's a Talica 16 2-speed reel, which is really nice. I had a custom rod with it, but one of the videos this summer, I don't remember if it was a bull shark, sandbar shark, something. I had the rod up like this when the shark was close to the boat, and it took off again, and that rod didn't want nothing to do with it, broke right in half. So don't high stick your rod. This grunt seemed to stay on there pretty good. I think this is a Tom Tate, because it's got the little spot, even though the spot's real light. Be happy with one more snapper. Another mangrove or a big ARS would be sweet. But we haven't even caught a little ARS, which is an American red snapper, which they're in season right now. Looks like there could be some on the sonar. We'll see. Somebody's got them. Oh yeah. Digging. This feels like grouper though. Could be snapper. There's not head shake, but definitely got a big tail. I'm willing to bet it's a grouper. Well, be something good. Oh, look where he got hooked. Oh my God. See that where he's hooked? Right in. Another nice one. About as big as the other one. 24 inches. 24 inches, probably at least 5-6 pounds. Still rocking and rolling. Still quite a bit on here. So that's probably the fish I just brought up. All right, let me change the battery in my other GoPro and see if we can catch something else. So that last 24-inch mangrove was caught on that. So Tom Tate grunt, probably a 3-ounce lead on a knocker rig. And when I go to the bottom, I don't keep the fish pinned to the knocker rig. I'll usually let out some slack or even leave my bail open so the fish can kind of, come away from the weight. It's only going to go so far. There's only about 5 feet of leader on here before it gets to the knot, but I think it helps when they're not sitting right on the bait. Some people will put them down and keep the bait like pegged right to the weight, and I don't think it looks all that natural. So when you get to the bottom, just leave the bail open a little bit, you know, let him kind of float away or swim away. Then he's away from the weight. And I seem to get a bit better when you do that. Obviously it's worked on these. Those are pretty old mangroves. To get that big, 24 inches, and it's got to be a 10-year-old fish or more. Wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but can't pass up on 24-inch mangrove snapper. All right, so now we're on the bottom. Like I said, I'm going to leave that open. Something's already going after him, I think. I'm not sure what this one is. The head shakes, big tail kick. If this is another 4 or 5 pound mangrove, kind of crazy. This is more like the normal size we catch out here, but this is still a good one. Look at that. Good one. Not as big as the other ones, but take it. Try it again. The red-fin herring this time. Man, I was hoping the wind was going to die down. Not looking ideal. But the good news, with the wind coming out of the east, the closer to shore we get, the better it should be. Got real nervous and then bloop. Take it. Smaller. Still a good fish though. A little over 16 inches. All right, last bait of the day. It's 2:42. I'm 12 minutes past my deadline. My other GoPro's dead, and got probably a 45-mile ride back in just to the bay. And it's like another 5 or 6 miles to the marina. So we're gonna make this one quick, hopefully. I said last bait. That was a live one. I just threw a dead one down. Kind of while I was picking up and changing some batteries. And it went off. Go. No. Maybe a shark down there. Yep. Well, if I didn't have a sign before, now it's a sign. Let me know if the sharks are a problem when you guys fish too, because they suck in Florida. Protected species for the most part. That a pisser. What's in there? Let's see how far new passes. So we are home new, navigate to, go to. So we are 42 miles away. Lovely. All right, guys, if you are gonna go fishing alone offshore, do safety things. Make sure you're always tethered if the boat's on. That way, if you're happen to fall overboard, the boat's not going to keep going. A few other safety items. I did get my life jacket. Didn't want to get the best one, kind of figured it would get in the way. But this should be good. If you're going to come out here, make sure you let people know where you're going, when you anticipate on coming back. So in case something happens, they know to come looking for you. The marina always knows we try to get back before they close. So it's 3 o'clock now. I'm not sure I'll be able to make it back before they get out of there. Waves are kind of not ideal. Wind's coming at us. The wind has died down. The waves are, 2 to 3 foot. Pretty close together. I might be able to get up on top of them. We'll see. I don't want to get beat up too bad or beat the boat up too bad. Beat sitting on the couch. They get 4 nice mangroves. Possibly some personal best, I'm not sure. I have to look back at the video and the one we caught this summer, and I know it was a pretty big one. But I've never caught 2 big ones back to back like that. Most of that fish we see must have been mangrove snapper, because that seems to be all we caught. Mangroves, a couple of big red grouper, a couple of lanes, and then it's always that one last drop that gets you. I had a nice fish on, felt like another mangrove, maybe a grouper. Got it almost probably 3/4 of the way to the boat. I felt it pull a little bit, and I was like, oh crap, he's got some bite in him. And I'm like, oh no, might be a shark. And then as I kept reeling, it got heavier. And it was a shark. I don't know which one kind of was. Broke the leader off, which is good for me. I didn't have to take the hook out of his mouth. So, thanks for joining. I'll see you back in the marina. It's not too dark. I'll show you cleaning the fish. If it's too dark, you guys have seen me clean fish before, so we'll see you in a little bit. All right, that's the biggest one. That's what we ended up with today. I think this one was like 26. That was like 24, 18, or 20, and 17, something like that. Probably only gonna show you cleaning one because we are about to lose the light. So pretty simple. Outline the fish. Trying to stay close to that backbone as you can. On the backbone. When you get to that spine, you gotta kind of angle your knife down to get all the meat. And some pin bone. Get through them. Over that rib cage. That's all there is to it. Yeah, most of it. Not a little bit up there, but see what I'm talking about with that backbone. You got to get down up just a tiny bit, but you don't have to worry about. Now these have a pretty good bloodline on the skin side, so I use this knife under the edge of the cutting board, and instead of going like straight down, I want to go like parallel to the cutting board best you can. You see that? Try not to get that. We only got a little bit, but not too bad. And no, clean up anything we don't like. Big thing is these pin bones right here. A little bit of that bloodline. There you go. And when I go to cook this, I'll probably cut this out too. And this knife's serrated on one side. You can use the serrated side to get through the scales, but you don't necessarily need to. 'Cause, 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 Now this side's a little bit harder because you don't have that fillet on that other side. Not too bad. Your knife. Going rib cage. Up and over the backbone. Okay. Smoke these collars tomorrow. So we got some pretty big ones. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a, when you get these collars out, there's that little bone you gotta go under. Come down the rib cage. Go from the vent. Just like that. Kind of like the breast of a chicken. Alright, I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this. Alright, let's go see if the catfish are here. A few there, not as many as in the summertime. Nothing goes to waste. Whatever the catfish don't get, crabs will get. A bunch of bull crabs in this creek. Too bad for just me fishing. Nice mangrove. Oh, 3 collars. We'll smoke them tomorrow. For 4 fish, that's a pile of meat.